In this expedition, we drive on the world's most atrocious road in the world's crappiest vehicle. Here we have a new luxury seat which appears to be a stump of wood. Dash our way through snake-infested jungle with big poisonous spiky things. Climb unstable cliff faces in the middle of the night. Camp directly inside a volcanic caldera. Blind ourselves with ash. And all to get as close as possible to the most inaccessible volcanoes on the planet to witness the greatest show on Earth. Welcome everyone to another Extreme Pursuit expedition. This time we are in Indonesia. In this episode, we'll be traveling to the island of Halmahera and climbing the rarely visited Dukono Volcano. Known for its highly explosive eruptions, lava bombs, sudden lahars, and eardrum bursting noise. This is me, Matt, my friend Paul, and our local expedition guide Andy, who knows just about everything there is to know about volcanoes in Indonesia. We've travelled halfway around the world and have just landed in Jakarta to kick off our expedition to Dukono, our first of 4 volcanoes on this trip. Now our plan had us leaving Jakarta in the early hours of the morning, bound for the small island of Ternate, then crossing the Molucca Sea to the port of Sofifi before driving northbound to the town of Tebelo.
Welcome to Ternate. This is a volcanic island and the famous island, in the world. So Ternate Island is, was famous, in 15th century, which is called as Spice Islands.
After some impromptu dancing with the locals, we headed to the port of Ternate.
We're at the Ternate port now, and we're about to get in a speedboat to take us over to Halmahera.
Now we are in Sofifi port, so this is the capital city of North Halmahera, and then we're gonna go direct straight to the Tobelo, so it's like takes 4 hours.
From Sofifi, we had a 4-hour drive ahead of us through the lush rainforest and alongside the coastal waters of North Maluku. When we arrived in Tebelo, we spent hours packing our bags, meticulously checking every bit of equipment. If you forget something up on a volcano, it can undermine the entire expedition.
So it's Monday morning, and we are just putting final preparations together for our climb up Dukono Volcano. This is our first of 4, maybe 5 volcanoes that we plan to climb. There's a lot of bags, a lot of gear to take up. We are just organising porters now, and organising a jeep which is going to take us part of the way up to save a little bit of time. And we can also see in the distance, the Dukono Volcano is only about 14 kilometres to my right. We can see the ash plumes that are rising from here already. Before we climb any volcano, we obviously have to study a lot of the data, things like seismicity and that sort of stuff, just to understand what it's doing for our safety. And so we're heading over to the Indonesian Dukono Geological Services to meet the scientists there.
Yeah, Dukono is now, the activity currently is still fluctuate, but has been decreasing since 2 years ago. That before was so many explosions inside of the crater. Now it's decreasing. That means this is a little bit lower. But inside there is still now, this dominantly is not with magmatic ash, but this is more with steam. But sometimes also can occur like a sudden explosion. That this is we have to be careful. And the status alert now is level 2, so that means this is a more activity, but need times to go more for the higher level, like level 3, level 4, like that is the highest. And against Dukono is unpredictable volcano, so that sometimes can suddenly erupt or something, also with explosions.
So from feeling completely reassured after hearing the words unpredictable and sudden eruption, we headed back to our base to check out our transport that would be taking us as far up the volcano as possible.
It's got really good tyres here. We're going on some pretty tough terrain, so we need really good tyres for that. Good. And in here we have a new luxury seat which appears to be a stump of wood. Now I would show you inside, but the door doesn't open as well, so yeah.
We loaded our bags and equipment onto the back of the Jeep, and with a small army of porters, we left to Bella. Our first day's plan was to get from Tabello to just shy of the summit and set up our base camp right inside the volcano's caldera. It was going to be slow going with dense and unexplored jungle ahead. We would take the Jeep as far up the volcano as it would go and then hike the rest of the way. The road, if you want to call it that, started off relatively leisurely. Mostly flat and a few potholes and puddles.
Into the jungle, the road is just deteriorating. There's not been a lot of traffic up here because of COVID.
But it got steeper and steeper, and the road quickly became a nightmare.
All right, well, the road has just become horrendous, and the driver doesn't think we can get up here any further. So we're just going to walk and scout the road a little bit just to see what's coming. So we've got to get up here.
With a few rudimentary road repairs completed, we thought we would be over this hurdle in no time. With wheels spinning and going nowhere, it was obvious more road repairs were required.
So now we are stuck. We have a bit of a problem here.
So this time, some palm fronds were added for extra grip, and with a bit of pedal to the metal, we were on our way. But it was all short-lived.
But just as we got out, more problems. This road is getting worse and worse.
So now the jeep gets stuck, but look, we have team, and then they now work for making road. And actually it's not far anymore. It's like about half an hour, but it's steep, and then this is quite challenging. It's amazing expedition.
And so with more digging and road repairs, some enthusiastic jumping, pushing, more jumping, more digging, and even more jumping, we were on our way again.
Back on the move, and we've found the road again. But it ain't gonna last for long, I don't think. thought this was the end, but no, the Indonesians are very persistent. They want to get us up here no matter what. And so this is what we've got to get up.
And yes, you guessed it, more digging, more road repairs, and going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, well, we're stuck again, of course, and desperate trying to get the Jeep free yet again.
On our way again, the road decided to just end completely, and we found ourselves driving blindly through the jungle.
All right, we've come as far as we can. So now we are going to head up on foot. It's about 3.5 hours from here to the base camp. And so we start the slog up to base camp. About 3 hours through the jungle. We've got our army of porters. We're taking up a huge amount of gear to keep us safe, to photograph the volcano. And yeah, it's going to be a cool adventure. See you soon.
Now, if you think getting close to erupting volcanoes is harebrained, and it probably is, try trekking through the jungles of North Halmahera, where everything is trying to kill you. Snakes, leeches, spiders, malarial mosquitoes, and big spiky tree things that inject toxic poison. And with almost 100% humidity with searing heat, you begin to question what the hell are you doing?
We might end up having to use the machete soon to bush bash through here, but it's good for now.
And so our inescapable battle with this misery continued as ash fell and began to blind us.
Seven, you got some ash in your eye?
Yeah. And I have only one eye, and then here you have, so yeah, when it is the problem, and then I close my eyes like this.
But finally, through the fog, we made out a faint outline of Dukono's active cone. We had reached the caldera.
We've made it to camp at least. It's hot, still hot. Bit of fog around, that's Dukono behind us. See our little camp behind us here, and if I switch around here, that's Dukono there. It's a little bit foggy. We've had a few quite big booms and rumbling sounds. Sizable ash plumes come out, so it's definitely active. And we're just exploring now the ash plain here, the caldera. We've got to be a little bit careful here though. This is the path of the Lahar. There is a water source further up. As we look around us now, there's a whole lot of plants and trees that have just been flattened, so the Lahar has come through here quite recently, so we just have to be a bit careful. But what a cool place.
Feeling just a tad nervous for what was to come, climbing up highly explosive volcano, Andy did his best to calm our nerves.
But just suddenly, big explosion, BAM! And then everybody was shocked. Yeah, and then if happen like that, so don't be panic. And also don't run, yeah, but just look up the bombs. If there is bombs, yeah, don't move then. It's better don't move, because normally sometimes the trajectory bomb, the ballistic, which is the crater, especially like the size of Dukono, will go like this is parabolic. That sometimes in the rim this is safer than if you go like running down, for example, like that. You don't know, behind you, and always with helmet. If there is sudden
with nervous tension at an all-time high, we did the only thing we knew to compose oneself.
All right. When you come to a volcano, you've got to be comfortable, and you've got to have, oh yes, you've got to have some essential beverages as well. So cheers to Dukono.
As we cooked dinner that night, my mind was racing between the exciting prospect of witnessing nature's greatest spectacle and, of course, surviving to tell the adventure. Or ending up dead.
So it's just gone 3 a.m, just woken up. I've got to get up now and climb Dukono.
Now we're gonna go up to the rim of the crater. So this is still unpredictable. Yeah, so that Dukono can blow up and explode anytime actually. We're gonna go in the dark. This is something different. Why? Because the plan is we try to be arrived on the rim when like changing time from the dark to the sunrise. This is something we can make blue hour time photography, and then especially in the morning, like around 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, this will be the best light ever. And then there is golden like landscape over there. So this is the plan. Stars is very clear now, so let's hope better then. Let's go.
With a couple of hours of rest and still experiencing the effects of jet lag, we cautiously headed off into the darkness, right to the fiery crater of Dukono.
So we've left the lava flow area. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it is raining ash. And we're now going to head up the cinder cone part. So we've had to put on a gas mask here. Not because of the gas, not because of COVID. But there's a lot of ash falling now, so whilst we have the respirator here, it's just a bit hard hiking up the cinder cone here. So yeah, it's getting tough now. There's already a strong stench of sulphur in the air, and we've had a few booms coming from the crater, so it's getting exciting.
It was tough going. One wrong step and it was curtains. The volcano was rumbling, seemingly telling us to keep our way. But we inched closer and closer to the danger.
All right, well, we've made it. We are at the top, and I'm just now walking over to the crater. This is exciting. Wow. Here at Dukono. Thankfully the weather has been kind to us, but there's a lot of wind and ash conditions are pretty tough up here. So at the bottom of the crater here, there's a lot of degassing. There are about 4 separate vents here. It's a beautiful orange glow. No storm volume activity. It's a great show.
As the sun rose and the toxic gases cleared, the sheer size of the crater became apparent.
Get a bit of a clearer view of the crater now. It's got a bit of ash coming out from multiple vents.
We had made it as close to hell as anyone should ever venture, but like a moth to a flame, we were irresistibly attracted. We couldn't stop staring. It was the greatest show on Earth, and it was our show.
So that's Dukono done, 1 of 4. Pretty cool. It's actually, if you look behind me, it's fogged in again, so we're very lucky. Yeah, so we're going to head down now, and it's going to be about 2 hours back to the Jeep, and then about an hour down to the road there. So there, we'll be back in Tabello. We will spend the night there and get ready and prepare for our second volcano, which is Ibu.